I'll definitely add that.
Oh man.
Well, we're back, and we actually have someone else with us. This is This Guy, That Guy with Andrew and Steven. Steven and Andrew. Welcome back, guys. We haven't spoke since just before the Super Bowl. I think about a week before it started. So I'll let Andrew take it away since this guy's been missing for a while.
Alrighty. Well, you guys, I want to apologize to you guys. I know we started this venture together as a two-man team, and I appreciate the cat over there in the back. Cat sighting. I appreciate Steven, kind of carrying the load while I was gone. Contrary to the popular belief that I was doing my nails, I guess the
didn't even say anything last time. You were coaching the girls' game, but go ahead.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I'll give you guys the full scoop on everything. I'll make it short because it's not about me, but I'll share a little bit about me.
3-hour pod, let's go.
3-hour pod, just all about me.
Whoa.
Yeah. So we started this adventure. Whoa. That's a later segment. All right, next time. So we started this segment, or this show, I would almost say almost a month ago, and I was really looking forward to at least getting you guys a video at least once a week. I knew I had a busy schedule. I knew it was going to be tough, but I definitely felt like I could manage it. The hardest thing that happened is I got really, really sick. It's the sickest I've actually ever been in my life, unfortunately. And it was sickest.
What do you think you had? Like tapeworms?
Yeah, right. It was like some respiratory infection. It felt like bronchitis. It was an uncontrollable cough. It was terrible. I was coughing up blood. I was vomiting. It was pretty bad.
Jesus.
But yeah, so that was part of it. I almost went to the emergency room, actually. There was one night where I couldn't breathe. Anyways, so
Call 911.
yeah, so that was part of it. And then the second part was I'd spent a lot of time coaching 8th grade girls basketball. I know Steven talked a little about it in the previous pod, but yeah, that kind of took a lot of my time, and I'm happy to say that we won. We won it all. We upset the teams that were better than us. I don't want to say I outcoached the other coaches, but outcoached them. All right.
The fuck out of them.
Yeah. So that was a special experience. I was happy, proud of the girls, and anyways, it was great. So that's kind of why I've been missing. From now on, it's going to be more consistent. Steven and I can find time to get these videos out to y'all. I guess the one last thing that I guess I'll share really quick is you guys might have noticed that I look about 40 years younger. All right. So I went to the past, and I basically found myself in the past, right? And I brought him here to the future.
All right, let's move on to the next segment.
Yeah, but yeah, shaved, little bangs,
You know what this guy looks like? He looks like when fucking Spider-Man 3 or something.
Oh yeah. I'm in the emo phase right now. But yeah, so that's a little update on my life, you guys. Thanks.
To everybody, don't give a shit.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's just I was just gonna close it. Thanks. It's a little update, and thank you guys for being patient, and let's move on. So I guess Steven, you want to go ahead and share with with everyone what the agenda looks like for today's pod?
Yeah, dude. So we got a little bit. We're gonna start off with the obvious. We started with Andrew's life and what happened, and shit out his ass, and blood coming out
Violin.
Yeah, a little sad violin. He was like writing his death note. Thinking about what he wanted to do before he left this world, and then all of a sudden he got better, and then he had to go coach some girls, whatever the hell, right? So, shit, I'm glad you're back. Welcome back, dude. I'm sure all 2 people that watch this, which is just us, are very happy to see you back.
Oh, man. For now, just wait. That third person's on the way. All right? That third person's on the way.
A little on the way. Yeah. I didn't know about
No.
Dude.
A random person.
You guys.
You guys heard it here first.
They're going to be named Randy. Okay, gotcha. I got
Randy.
You. Code words. Okay. All right. Well, let's just move on to the shitty Super Bowl that I didn't predict, right? But I was not surprised that the Chiefs won. The Niners had plenty of opportunity and got plenty of, and the Chiefs gave them plenty of opportunity to go ahead and try to at least put gas in the fire with the turnovers and whatnot. But then the Niners also turned it over. We're not going to go into too much detail, but I believe the turning point, Andrew will go over his turning point. I think the turning point for that game was definitely the special teams fuck up on the Niners' behalf, where they touched the ball, his ankle, and then he fucking had to jump on it suddenly. It was like, that was just a shit show. So, and then the Chiefs were able to score a touchdown immediately after. So, what do you think that turning point in that game was?
Yeah, honestly, I'm agreeing with that fumble. I want to say it's bad luck where it hit the guy's shoe or whatever and it bounced and the Chiefs got the ball.
Dude.
I don't know though. I just feel like you have to be aware. I know he's blocking someone but whenever you're blocking someone in the radius of where the ball is, and I guess it's, easy for me to say as a non-football player, but I feel like you have to be aware of where that ball is going to bounce, You got to be aware. You got to stay out of the way. You don't want to make mistakes. Unfortunately, the Niners are all too familiar with muffed punts and kickoff returns. Steven remembers when they played the Giants and
Chargers are going to have that same opportunity later on. Go ahead.
When did they play? Whenever they played the Giants. I mean, you remember that was traumatic.
Yeah,
but
that was the NFC Championship game. Yep.
NFC Championship, right? So I think that was a turning point. Another thing, and I don't want to harp too much on the Super Bowl because it's it's been a little bit, but another thing that just kills me, and I am very, and I believe like the sources I've heard, and I believe this was the case, even though they're, the Niners are trying to argue that there was, reasoning to why they did what they did, but honestly, the coin toss in overtime. For those that are unfamiliar, they've changed the rules. So basically, both teams get to possess the ball, right? So even if a team scores a touchdown, the other team still has a chance to possess the ball. So I'm thinking, oh, perfect. Niners can start on defense, set the tone like they have been, pretty much for the whole game. And, they can kind of get it done on defense, maybe hold Mahomes to a field goal or no points or even a touchdown. Then if they score a touchdown, then you still have a chance. And you have 4 downs every down because, you need a touchdown. But the Niners decided to possess the ball. And, Shanahan talked a little bit about his reasoning behind it. He basically said, if we get the ball third in a tie game, then it's kind of like sudden death and we can finish it. I didn't agree. I think hearing the sources, the players sounded like they weren't familiar with overtime rules. I think that's unacceptable and inexcusable in the Super Bowl. That's pretty ridiculous.
Surprising for Shanahan.
Yeah, very. Very surprising. Anyways, I'm not going to, keep going on that subject, but that's what, in my opinion, was also one of the turning points. I was very disappointed. And my wallet, my bank is a little disappointed too.
Yeah, how much did this guy bet again? Like 5,000?
Yeah, so no, nothing crazy like that. Oh boy.
Shit.
So just I think everyone knows this. Yeah, as a Chargers fan, people know probably, at least they will know. I hate the Chiefs. I wasn't I thought the smart money is on the Chiefs. Like, obviously, putting money on the Chiefs is what I would have done if I was neutral, but hate the Chiefs, wanted to go against them. So I put about a couple $100 on the Niners spread -2. I knew they had a great chance to win it. I thought the Chiefs were going to win it at the end, but I wanted to root against them, and that's another to add to rooting against them. So
blame Taylor Swift for that.
Right. Yeah. It was a little disappointing. I knew though when I was going into it. Yeah. Yeah, I knew going into it that.
How's she reacting? Trap.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I know. I knew going into it that I probably put the money on the wrong team, but you live with the decisions you make. And just a little disclaimer here for everyone: don't bet. Listen, this is for everyone. Don't bet money you're not willing to lose. Don't do it.
Were you willing to lose that money?
Yes, I was willing to lose that money because I knew I probably was going to lose it. If we're talking about $5 to $10 grand, then maybe I'm a little delusional. Then you give me that hotline number, and I need a call right away.
Should we go ahead and go into the, Andrew? I mean, he may have taken a loss this round, but he may or may not have a channel podcast coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
About possible bets and stuff like that. I don't know if you'd tie in fantasy with that, but
oh yeah, it's imminent. Imminent betting / fantasy advice.
What would the bets be on? Like just NFL, or would you prop?
I would focus mostly on NBA and NFL, but I will sprinkle in some baseball because baseball's actually like a really good sport to bet on. So it's actually, I'm not going to say mostly because baseball is going to be a big part of it. So actually it's going to be NFL, NBA, NFL, NBA, MLB. Nah, none of that stuff. Unless,
is there Olympic betting?
I'm sure there is.
Have you seen Olympic betting?
No, I have not, but I know there is.
Is there any other people that bet like you do?
Yeah, there's someone.
Interview. Okay. Would that
I know
someone? Do I know that person? Oh,
yes.
I know that person.
I think so.
I do.
I don't want to disclose who it is because he doesn't. It's very private to who knows that he bets. So I'm gotta be very careful.
I don't know anything.
Anyways,
if you're watching this, don't worry. I don't know who you are at all. All two people that watch us. So, is that going to be the third person that starts watching this? Then I don't know. Shit.
There you go.
Anyway, would you bring that person on to your pod?
100%.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at that.
This guy turning his lights off.
That's
you
bad
done?
News. That's bad
Oh.
news. That's what that means.
What?
That's
Why?
what that means. I don't know. I don't know if you should bring that person on your podcast, dude. That's a sign.
Oh, it's a bad omen.
All right, moving on. Hopefully Andrew comes out with this pod soon, right? That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Cameo in every once in a while. Betting's not.
Oh yeah.
Betting sports is not my thing, but if you're going to a casino and we're going to play at the table,
right.
I'm down. So, if any contribution I do to that show, it would just be opinion based, and I'd be like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So let me go ahead and turn the lights on, and we'll go ahead and move on to the Niners firing Steve Wilkes pretty much immediately after Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What do you think? Did you see that coming, or do you think it was
no?
Use him as a scapegoat?
I think they try to use him as a scapegoat. I'll be honest, I don't really know too much about Steve Wilkes. I don't really follow him like that. I know that the Niners defense was very good in the Super Bowl for the most part. So the reason why I think it was a scapegoat move was because Shanahan's trying to take the heat off of him. And unfortunately, the DC had to go. But But, there's always things that happen between the lines or within the context of the team that we don't know about. So I want to be fair to that organization and, give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they know what they're doing. It just feels a little bit like a scapegoat. And, that's kind of what I wanted to say on it. Steven, if you want to elaborate more, feel free.
Dude, so definitely from the outside looking in, it definitely looks like a scapegoat move. But if you look back towards the 3 losses the Niners had in a row, was the Browns, was it Browns, Bengals, Ravens? Or no. It was Browns, Vikings, and Bengals. So it was after that 3-game losing streak that Steve Wilkes was told to go from the office up top to look down at the field and come down to the field and be with the guys, because the past 2 DCs have been on the field to call plays and look the guys in the eye and all that shit. So, and then also Shanahan kind of threw him under the bus after the Vikings game when he went to, I think he went to cover 0 on Kirk Cousins, and he was just fucking killing him all game. And so I think it's been brewing since then. And then I unfortunately didn't get to see overtime in the Niner game because I was at work and we had to go do work shit, So I missed the entire overtime, so that fucking sucked. But from what I've heard, that there was a timeout call and Shanahan had to override one of Steve Wilkes' plays. I don't know. I didn't get to see it myself, so but I've been hearing that a lot. So I don't know. It's definitely been brewing since the middle of the season, though, for sure. That does suck for Steve Wilkes because it's like he lost a Pro Bowl safety to begin with. Bosa, no one remembers, but he was a holdout. Remember that? So he didn't get to, talk to him until he finally got signed a contract and came in. And then there's injuries, and Greenlaw fucking tore his Achilles.
Oh, that was so crazy. Oh, my God. I couldn't believe that.
People also forget, right? What was Kelsey doing before Greenlaw got hurt? Just saying.
Not much.
Not much, dude. A crazy injury like that, no one hit him, nothing. It was just, wear and tear. That's what the Achilles is, and it just sneaks up on you. And there is a slight warning sign to it, right? He had a
calf strain,
Achilles tendonitis.
Oh.
Throughout, before, so that doesn't always say you're gonna fucking tear your Achilles, though. I mean, I've gotten that before, and I'm no pro athlete though, but they usually know what they're doing. They know their body and stuff like that. So that's what's insane with what the cards that Steve Wilkes was dealt with. I'm not a huge Steve Wilkes fan, but I will admit that he wasn't given the best chance possible to succeed, right? So,
yeah.
And then Chase Young not making a huge difference. He made a huge difference in the first game of the Niners, and that was it. He was making differences in the beginning of the Super Bowl, though, so I give him that.
Right.
And then Randy Gregory, meh. And then, obviously, second half, you got a different inside linebacker. So then that means Fred Warner's got to cover for more shit, right?
Right.
And that also means you're taking someone that you've been scheming packages with and doing disguises and all that to try to, keep Mahomes knowing the read right off the bat, right before snapping the ball. Because obviously you want to disguise your coverage, right? And then you don't want the quarterback to discover it. Well, you don't want them to discover it at all, but if they are to discover it, you want them to discover it when it gets snapped, because then you actually fall into the real coverage you want to be in, right? So with Greenlaw going out, I'm sure that took away what they've been training for 2 weeks. So
oh yeah,
I don't know. So that's one thing with the Steve Wilkes firing there. As far as who they bring in, Andrew, like Brandon Staley, I think he should go back to the Chargers and be a DC for them.
Negative.
He loves him so much.
Terrible.
And then, what was the other? Bill Belichick that people are dreaming that he comes. Vrabel, that would be awesome. He'd only be there for a year if you're even lucky to even get him because he doesn't need it either. Pete Carroll, and then who else is out there right now? Fangio got picked up by the Eagles, so
Vrabel, where's he at?
He's nowhere.
Wow.
Free
So
agent.
Carroll, Vrabel, Belichick. Dang, there's a lot of coaches available. That's insane. Wow.
Yeah, dude. So that's why one of them might just take a 1-year gig and go win a chip and then go be a head coach somewhere.
Yeah.
Might as well stack it. I mean, if you're the Niners, there's no cap on paying coaches. So pay as much as you want. And bribe that fucker. Sooner the better so they can install that defense.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So I don't know, dude. That's all I got for that fire.
Yeah.
It sucks for him. He'll find another spot, you know.
Yeah, he'll be fine, I think, in the end.
Yeah. He's a millionaire already, so
Right.
nothing to feel bad about.
For the Niners fans out there, don't get Brandon Staley as your defensive coordinator. Don't do it. Don't do it. You guys will be screwed.
I think Shanahan and Staley have the same agent.
Wow. Okay.
So, oh man. Hopefully it doesn't happen.
That would not be good. Not be
He's
good for you
gonna have
guys.
to prove himself for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Moving on, dude.
Moving on.
Did
All
cover
right.
The Chargers last time we were on. What I did cover about the Chargers, obviously with the Harbaugh hire, I did not because we had gone over that. I think the show before that. So I
Right.
talked more about he brought his DC from Michigan.
Yeah.
That's
Jesse
he's never
Minter.
Been a DC, never been a DC in the NFL. He has worked in the NFL as like assistant coach, different things. I think strengths coach and stuff like that. But the only time he's been a DC other than Michigan, I think it was Georgia. So we'll see how that goes with that for the Chargers. Obviously, Greg Roman. Is that official? Is he back?
Yeah, he's back. He's the offensive. Yeah, he's the OC. Greg Roman is back.
Yeah. So,
what's your thoughts on him? Because he was with the Niners, right? When Harbaugh was there, if I recall, he was their offensive coordinator, right?
Yeah, he was.
So,
and then
so
he was
you,
offensive coordinator with the Ravens.
yeah. So you would know a little bit more than I do about him. What are your thoughts on him? Because out of all the hirings, I think that was the one that I was kind of like, for the Chargers offensive coordinator, I was not too sure about. Like, I trust Harbaugh, but I don't know. I don't know about Greg Roman. So, what do you think?
So, Greg Roman, he's a quality offensive coordinator. He's not going to be. He's not a McVay. He's not a Shanahan. He's not a LaFleur, right?
Not like a creative kind of play calling genius mastermind in that sense. Okay.
But I mean, he has a shitload of run packages. And you know what that does? It takes the pressure off Herbert. And on top of that, he's proven that these run packages work in the NFL. So he's proven himself, and Herbert can run a little bit. That adds to it, right? You can see him when he was in Baltimore with John Harbaugh, and then when he was in San Francisco with Jim Harbaugh and Colin Kaepernick. So where he struggles at is probably the pass game a little bit, but having Herbert, it's probably the best quarterback, or one of the best. It's probably his best throwing quarterback he's ever had, right?
Right.
'Cause I know Lamar is MVP, right? But
Yeah.
best throwing
Right.
is Herbert. That either
Alex
one
Smith,
of these coaches have had.
Kaepernick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like that's for Jim and Greg.
Yeah.
So, I think you're gonna find success with Greg Roman. Where the only shortfalls is like you were saying, he's not as creative as those other guys. So,
You're right.
But I mean, everyone's can adapt and learn, right?
Yeah.
So, not to say that he'll get on their level one day, but if you can just at least add little tidbits of that, do motion offense a little bit more and all that, I think he's going to be a great fit, dude. Honestly, he's not a bad hire at all. It's a great hire. The thing I'd be worried about is the DC, honestly, just because of lack of experience.
Yeah. Cool. Well said. Thank you, Steven, for sharing that. I'm going to go over a couple of the hirings and just like people on the staff that I'm excited about. You know, I'm not going to get into like all the coaching staff members, but just to highlight a few names that I want to kind of go over is one is and I won't bring up who we already brought up. One is actually one of my favorite signings to the Chargers, because watching him play on the Niners, he was electric, and you probably know who I'm talking about. Yeah, Navarro Bowman, the linebacker coach. Dude, he was amazing when he played, and I just remember that one fumble he caused against Atlanta when they were at the goal line or whatever to clinch to the Super Bowl. Man, he's a beast, and I could think of no better coach or up-and-coming maybe players coach to have on that linebacker squad. So that's going to be awesome. Steven, you want to say anything about Bowman?
Yeah, dude, you guys, that's a good pickup for you guys. I'm happy for Navarro. And good for the Chargers, man. These are some great hires. That means the Spanos family is letting Harbaugh do his thing. They're fucking staying out of it. He's going to hire whoever the fuck he wants. And probably is going to get them paid whatever he wants to pay them. So that's good.
Yeah. So that's number one. Actually, someone interesting that's actually not a new hire per se, but very calculated. Harbaugh, we both know he's a very calculated guy, and he did his homework. And the quarterback coach, Shane Day, he was actually already with the Chargers, and Harbaugh's kind of So what I'm thinking is Harbaugh talked to Herbert extensively about him and said, hey, is he your guy? Do we need a new guy? Whatever. And I'm sure Herbert advocated for him. I'm not 100% sure that, Harbaugh talked to him, but I can only guess that he did, and said, hey, what do you think? So I think that is great. At least Herbert has some type of continuity. And, if Herbert likes Shane Day as their quarterback coach and, he's comfortable with them, why not? Keep him, right? Just because you're tearing everything down and building it back up doesn't mean you can't keep a couple guys along the way that,
Harbaugh better watch out, dude.
Well, there you go. He has a scapegoat.
You know why I say that?
Why? What happened?
Yeah, Niners. Last time he kept someone that was still on the staff, Jim Tom Sula.
Oh.
Harbaugh out.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's right. Wow.
The Niners Dark Lore, dude.
That's crazy. I forgot about that, dude.
Niner history.
Yeah.
Yeah, all you fans that want to get rid of Shanahan, you guys don't remember that, huh? Jim Thompson, Kelly, Mike Nolan, fucking Singletary, all that shit. You guys want that back? No, I'm keeping Shanahan, you fucks. Continue.
Yeah. Just let me look up one thing really quick. I just want to confirm here. Okay. So the last coach that I really want to talk about, that was hired, and to be honest, I think this is this is awesome. And sadly, I kind of forgot about him, but man, he was a beast. So, Steven, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Nick Hardwick. If not, he was the center for the Chargers back in the glory days when they were, winning 14 games with Schottenheimer and whatever. Nick Hardwick, the center. He protected Rivers. It was before Turner, I'm pretty sure, and then probably into Turner's tenure and whatever. But
dark ages of the Chargers, dude.
Oh, there's always dark ages. But he was a 11-year center. He was in their radio. He's a Chargers guy, He's a Chargers guy, and that's awesome to hire someone that's been with the organization for as long as he has a very successful career. and they're hiring him as the assistant offensive line coach. I think that'll be great. That'll be great for him. It'll be great for the Chargers. It's really coming along. I really like this mesh of, player coaches as well as some of the experienced vets. It's really looking like an all-star staff, and it's coming together really well.
Hell yeah.
And it gets me excited, honestly, for the season. I know it just ended.
So we face the Chargers in the Super Bowl and we'll finally win.
Oh, you had your time. They beat them in the Super Bowl. The only Chargers appearance in the Super Bowl was against the Niners. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah,
Back in like the 80s or something.
KC out, dude. Get in the way.
We'll take him out for you guys. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. I'm really excited for the Chargers, man. Finally, something to be excited about. Crazy.
Everything.
Crazy.
Tell you what, dude, you probably can't wait for the season to start.
Draft, season, all of it. All of it. I'm so excited.
So I know this wasn't on the agenda. What are the Chargers needs for draft? Like top two. We'll just do two. Top two needs.
Okay. Top two needs.
So what's the
right
first
now? So the first thing they draft, and I know it sounds very surprising, because they drafted a receiver already in the first quarter. First quarter. In the first round last year is a receiver. And they need someone reliable to pair with Keenan Allen. Mike Williams, he's probably going to get cut due to his contract. Quentin Johnston, the rookie they got last year.
available?
Huh?
Mike Evans.
Yeah,
Mike
that's
Evans.
true. Not a lot of cap, though. That's the unfortunate aspect. But there's this really...
Is he up?
No, he's still there. There's this really good receiver, and I'll talk about him a little bit in the draft. His name is Malik Neighbors, an LSU receiver. We know how successful LSU receivers are. He is they're saying a more explosive Zay Flowers, and that excites me to hear that, because Zay Flowers did really well with Lamar in his first year, and we know that the new GM of the Chargers was on the right. He's quick. The new GM on the Chargers was with the Ravens when they drafted Flowers, so I could definitely see them drafting this guy in the first round, and that would be a huge boost because Herbert loves to throw the ball deep. The problem is they just haven't had anyone, to throw it deep to, because Keenan Allen is more of that, route running kind of specialist. He'll get you 10, 15, 20 yards. Mike Williams is kind of that big-bodied receiver where he'll go up and catch a ball, but he won't do much with it after. He'll basically fall to the ground. And he's not very quick. But anyways, so this, not a yak. So Malik Neighbors, obviously if we could get Marvin Harrison Jr., which is like supposed to be the generational wide receiver, that would be crazy. Right. But that's a conversation for another day. And then the second need, Steven, is also on the offense. It's running back. And with Eckler most likely not returning, they need a running back. So, unfortunately, this is kind of a weak... Yes. The only unfortunate part is there's not a lot of quality running backs in the top of the draft. But knowing Harbaugh, he'll probably draft one of the running backs that he had in Michigan. And he can be at least one piece of their, maybe running back by committee, depending on who they get. There's veterans talked about like Swift possibly coming to the team. Big name that kind of was linked to the Chargers, and he said he would be open to playing with them is Saquon Barkley, and that would be a really crazy guy to get.
I don't know, dude. Kind of injury prone.
Does it?
He would be good though.
I think he'd be really good, and I don't know if they're gonna get him. I don't want to get my hopes up, but that's just a name.
Likes some cowbells though. He likes running them into the ground, dude. You guys need something a little tougher. Remember you said Frank Gore.
Yeah, but Barkley, dude, he's
take a beating.
Right. I think Barkley with Herbert together, dude, like that combo would be scary, very scary.
Barkley reminds me of, as in like injury-wise, of McFadden.
Oh yeah.
McFadden and the Raiders.
I see that. I think Barkley, I think I have him a little higher than you do, but I could see that. I could see that. That's why they bring in another, probably that one of their Michigan backs with more ground pound type of guy and insert him kind of as the backup. Anyways, so those are the kind of the biggest needs. We'll definitely talk more draft as the date approaches, but yeah, I think that's pretty good on the Chargers front, Steven, and maybe we want to move on to our last segment, which is, little NBA midseason overview. Unless you had any last comments about the previous topic.
Nah, dude. Let's move on.
Okay, let's do it. Midseason NBA preview. Let's talk about it. So I know we've been talking a lot about football and not too much about NBA on this segment, on this podcast, but, we definitely follow the NBA, and we'll definitely, now that football is over, probably kind of switch gears and, be a little bit more focused on the NBA front. So, Steven, you want to start out? Is there any teams you kind of want to talk about right now that maybe either are surprising or that they're just dominating, and it's like, we could talk about that, and
I'm just looking at the standings, try to catch up on the NBA and all that, see what's going on now that NFL's finally officially over. Of course, it's never officially over because eventually we'll talk about free agents and
right,
all that shit, and draft picking up and prospects. But with the NBA, dude, being mid-season, All-Star break should be coming up right soon.
Right.
Which, I don't know. I don't watch the Pro Bowl, so All-Star, I kind of half-ass watching. Maybe I'll watch the 3.1 and the contest. That's about it.
Yeah.
Don't actually watch the game because it's usually trash.
Right.
So, but with the NBA, can the Celtics finally break through this year or what? What do you think?
No.
You being a Lakers fan.
Of course not. Celtics can never break through. They're always going to make it to the conference finals and the finals and just lose, unfortunately. But, that's just the way life goes. Purple and gold, baby. Let's go.
So with the Celtics, yeah, I'm probably in agreement with you on that. Yeah. Honestly, they'll make it deep in the playoffs, and that's about it. They probably won't make
Miami always has their number, too, which is the crazy thing.
Dude, if Miami can get just one other, like, the guy with fucking be sick. Well, the surprising number one on the other side is the Timberwolves. Like, if you think about a couple of years ago, it was like a trash-ass team, and then now
right. And the Rudy Gobert trade, they traded like 30 first-rounders for him, and, everyone thought that was... Yeah. I know.
I was one of those people, I'm like, damn, that's a trash-ass trade. It's funny, I still wouldn't trade for him, though. But anyway.
I still wouldn't either. Yeah. Anyways, that's, we're supposed to be, appreciating them, not hating on them. So, good job, T-Wolves.
Yeah, good job, Rudy.
Oh, man.
Here you go, buddy. You got this.
Now, they've definitely been surprising. They were one of the teams that I kind of saw more in the play-in. But for them to be first seed,
Edwards, dude, really come
man, he's up and coming. Anthony Edwards, there's probably like 2 to 3 players that I would love for the Lakers to have on their team. It's Luka Doncic and Anthony Edwards. Those two, like if one of those two would ever, that would be insane. Pipe dream, but man, yeah, Kyrie. There you go. But yeah, T-Wolves, yeah, that's good, Steven. I think the team that I was looking at, highlighting, and they're right under them in the standings, is the Thunder. OKC Thunder. OKC 100 first-round pick Thunders. It's crazy, man. Like, this team has been clicking on all cylinders. Rebuilt, but the crazy thing is they still have all these draft picks. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you have an amazing team. What are you going to do with the draft picks? You can't just keep drafting young guys, putting them in the farm. You need to get someone big, pair them up with Shea.
Well, yeah, remember the contract, though. The new NBA contracts kind of prevents all that shit now. It's the anti-Warriors.
Well, dude, a lot of these Thunder players are on rookie deals, so they actually have a good amount of money. Yeah. Anyways, they've been playing good, man. I see. Honestly, the way I've seen the MVP ladder, and right now Jokic is number 1, and then Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, he's number 2. Honestly, right now Shea is my MVP because he's
since there's a history though with the Thunder, right? They've been in this position before, and they've also gone to the chip before, and obviously have lost, but they still didn't want to double down and invest because the ownership doesn't want to pay over the cap. So do you think they learned their lesson? They're going to slightly go over the cap, just slightly, because there are 3 aprons now. How I don't want to go too deep into how that works.
Right, there's 3 aprons.
Now
right,
you get penalized so bad now. They should have freaking went after when they had that whole other group. But anyway, we are where we are now. And fuck, dude, if we had a podcast, when the CBA was coming out, I would have been like, why the fuck the players even agreed to this fucking CBA? But anyway, do you think ownership would pay some of these guys as it gets closer now, because they're starting to to their peak prime?
No doubt in my mind. Right. No doubt in my mind they will. I think, like you said, they learned their lesson. They're ready to compete. They're playing out of their minds right now. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is like, he's been great. I've watched him play a few times this season, and he gets to his spots with ease. And, he is so consistent, especially his, mid-range and his kind of close mid-range. He is a very consistent player. I'm excited for that Thunder team. And, they're going to be a tough team to beat come playoff time. But they're definitely a team that you probably don't want to play them, honestly, in the playoffs. If you can avoid them, you'd love to not play them.
Yeah. Chet Holmgren, I'm sure
man.
Wait another couple years, dude.
Yeah. This is technically his rookie season, even though he got hurt last year, and he's playing really well. Really well. So
he will never be as big as Jokic, but if he can
right.
put on some pounds and get close to like a Giannis size, maybe a little bit.
Yeah. Right.
So three quarters. So
yeah.
They know you're taller and all that. A lot of weight, But
right.
yeah, they're going to be a dangerous team going forward for sure. I mean, the Nuggets, in my opinion, would be obviously the team to beat.
Yeah.
They're the ones that been there, done that now.
Right.
And they have a chance to, go deep and make a serious name for themselves and really push the Warriors out of the picture, out of the West, considering the Warriors have been struggling all season. And also with LeBron getting older and push the Lakers out of the picture as well. So those two teams are fighting right now and trying to stay relevant, right? And they're both the older teams now. So
right. Speaking of the Lakers,
crazy. All these different teams are up top now, and you see the old guard is like, just hanging in there, and we'll see what happens though with the reload maybe next year for both those teams.
Yeah. Speaking of the Lakers, I'm happy to say that even though their record looks bad right now, it's actually a lot worse. They've actually kind of been finally figuring it out. So I just want to say, I guess the last team I'll talk about is my Lakers.
On a 3-game winning streak, right?
Right. And I think it comes down to, I think the LeBron effect is so interesting because, one, LeBron is LeBron, meaning I guess it could be seen a little bit as a negative, but LeBron's going to have the ball in his hands. And he's going to expect expect certain, a certain way for you to play, a play that kind of fits the way he operates, and not all players can handle that, right? So there's definitely that LeBron effect. But the interesting thing is, he and Anthony Davis sat out a game against Boston maybe a couple weeks ago, and the Lakers ended up winning. And it was really cool because the game before, I think LeBron, they asked him, do you have a message for your players at all, about, the recent struggles? And you know what he said? He's like, just go out and do your damn job. And I think, when LeBron talks, I know. He's very calculated, though. He's very calculated. Like, the things he says, it's like always intentional. And I think the players heard that, and they all kind of woke up. And now, like, especially with LeBron and AD out that game, they were all able to kind of find their roles and say, oh, hey, like, we can do this. Even when LeBron is here, we got to do this or that. So anyways, that's really good. They're coming along. The role players are picking it up. D'Angelo Russell's been playing really good. Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves.
Step up and stay up there.
Anthony Davis, he's only missed 4 games this year, knock on wood, but man, he's been healthy. So yeah, we'll see how they go the second half of the season. Yeah, knock on all that wood.
Just for you, bro.
There you go. Yeah.
Knock on some other wood.
So that's kind of what I want to talk about with the Lakers. I'm excited to see how their second half goes, and it's unfortunate they couldn't get any deals done in the NBA trade deadline, but reports were there was a Lakers tax, meaning like people just don't want to send the Lakers much, or they want to make them overpay because they are the Lakers, right? People have that kind of animosity towards the Lakers, and it makes sense because they've been a winning franchise for so long. They did get a great player. Like, one thing I'll close on, Steven, I don't know. Are you familiar with Spencer Dinwiddie?
Yeah.
Yeah. They were able to...
Brooklyn again, huh?
Yeah. Well, actually, Toronto traded for him. This is a funny story if you guys don't know this. Toronto traded for him. They bought him out because if he were to play 3 more games with the Raptors, they would owe him like $1.5 million extra, and they didn't want to pay that, so they bought him out. And Lakers had some money and a roster spot, and they picked him up. And hey, sometimes the best acquisitions are the ones that don't cost anything. I mean, obviously it cost them some money, but it didn't cost them any trades or anything like that. So in his 2 games with the Lakers, he played really well, and I look forward to seeing his continued fit, alongside LeBron, AD, Russell, and Reeves.
Out of his injury for a while, so now we get Spencer Dinwiddie hopefully at his full potential.
Right.
Soon, right?
Yeah.
Great off the bench too for you guys. So. That's
definitely. Yeah, I'm excited.
Shit.
All right. So, Steven, anything else you wanted to touch up on, or are we going to kind of clean and close it out on a high note?
That wraps it up, dude. We'll talk about the Warriors next time around.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely need to touch on them.
Because, this one was closing the season of the NFL, right?
Right.
Obviously, like Andrew said earlier, we're going to talk about the draft and prospects.
Yeah.
And fucking the dumb list that whatever the hell his name is, Mel Gibson makes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking, I don't even know why Mel Gibson. I thought he's like a superstar where he wants to fucking make fucking draft list, whatever. Or Jim Glazer, what the hell is his name? Tory Glazer, Trace, whatever the fuck. The other.
Yeah.
Fucking mock draft fuck. So, can you imagine if we ever got lucky to get one of those fuckers on here?
Oh my gosh.
Shit. Oh yeah, they used
right. Yeah. Oh man.
Well, welcome to the show. We are showing your picks. Though. They never make sense on the draft board other than like the top 3.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, dude. I think that wraps it up. I'm glad you're back, dude. Not sick anymore. You got the
I'm back. I'm so happy.
So
yeah,
we'll see, man. We should probably kick off the next show, some point soon, huh?
Yeah.
How about we shoot for Monday?
Yeah, I think Monday should work.
Yeah.
Monday, maybe Tuesday, but yeah, we'll talk about it. Definitely early part of the week. Let's do it.
Dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and we're gonna, be more consistent with you guys now, and I'm really excited to get the content out there because we got a lot to talk about. You guys have a lot you want to listen about, and
hopefully we'll
yeah,
launch Andrew's fantasy and betting pod soon.
Yeah.
I'll have to show him how to log in to our thing and everything and upload all that shit and come up with the intro, even though I still haven't come up with an official one for this guy, that guy. So
yeah, I know, right? Yeah, on the to-do list.
So we'll see, dude. So
yeah,
thanks for joining us. This is This Guy, That Guy with Steve and Andrew. Go ahead and fucking end it, Andrew.
Yeah. Hey, good job, Steven. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for joining us. We out.
Out.